Today we are reviewing another book by Robert Greene called The Laws of Human Nature. As is often the case with his work, it has caused a lot of controversy and criticism. Why? Because Greene talks about the dark side of human nature, and many people are uncomfortable facing their own shortcomings. Today we will look at several laws of human nature from Greene's book. There are 18 of them in total, and they will help us to understand ourselves and others more deeply. Law 1. Envy. At her first job, a friend of mine was a salesman in a small shoe store. The manager often criticized employees behind their backs and said compliments to their face, which made them uncomfortable. A few months later, she left for another job and later found out that the manager was spreading rumors that she had been fired for theft. Envy is an integral part of human nature. Some people use envy as motivation, while others use it as an excuse to harm. You can recognize envy by watching the reaction to your successes. Even if a person says pleasant words, his eyes or tone can betray true feelings. Law 2. Acting. Each of us tries on different masks, one for work, another for family, and a third for friends. We wear them to maintain a relationship, avoiding conflict. This is normal, but it is important to be able to recognize the true identity behind the mask. Pay attention to the facial expressions, intonation, look, and tone of the interlocutor's speech. Even through the cracks in the mask, the real essence of a person sometimes seeps through. But don't try to expose someone too explicitly. It can cause resistance. Law 3. Compulsive behavior. Some people make the same mistakes over and over again. They attract toxic partners into their lives, get into trouble, or repeat destructive behaviors. Human character is something that stays with us for the rest of our lives. Do you want to understand how a person will behave in the future? Look at his behavior in the past, especially in stressful situations. There are several types of people that are best avoided. Hyper-perfectionists. They strive to control every little thing, forgetting about the result. Eternal rebels. They are dissatisfied with everything around them and constantly complain. Touchy. They easily take words to heart and take offense even for no reason. The fourth law. Craving for possession. If you've ever watched children, you might have noticed one interesting pattern. As soon as one child takes a toy, everyone else immediately wants to get it. Even if you offer a dozen other toys, they will persistently demand exactly the one in the other's hands. This desire to possess things accompanies us all our lives. We strive for something, but as soon as the goal is achieved, interest in it fades and we go in search of a new object of desire. The paradox is that we are attracted to exactly what we don't have yet, and as soon as we get what we want, it quickly becomes boring. The fifth law, about suppression. Have you ever had frightening thoughts that you wanted to get rid of as soon as possible? If you think you've never had such thoughts, chances are you've just learned to suppress them. In psychology, this is called the shadow, that part of the personality that we do not want to recognize. That's where our most selfish, aggressive, and dark sides hide. But the more we try to suppress the shadow, the stronger it becomes. Law 6. Narcissism. Narcissists masterfully manipulate people into fulfilling their desires. And although each of us has a share of narcissism, it is important not to let it destroy relationships with others. What is the opposite of narcissism? Empathy is the ability to understand and empathize with other people. It helps to build healthy relationships. It is easier to endure difficulties and treat life with humor. The seventh law. The law of irrationality. It happens like this. One unpleasant episode can spoil our mood and throw us off balance. Given in to emotions, we make impulsive and sometimes erroneous decisions. However, emotions themselves are not something bad. The problem is that we make them like that. People always strive to avoid pain and seek pleasure. And if achieving a goal is difficult, most people prefer to abandon it or find excuses to avoid discomfort. This irrationality can make life very difficult. How to become more rational? Admit your irrationality. We are not always right. What seems obvious can be distorted by our emotions. Law 8. On short-sightedness. This law is the main reason why many people cannot follow a diet, develop healthy habits, or get rid of harmful ones. We know that the rational solution is to give up sweets and fast food because they are harmful to health. But when a chocolate cake appears in front of us, all logical arguments recede into the background. Short-sightedness is the desire to have fun here and now, ignoring the consequences. Look at the situation from the outside. Conflicts and stress can consume us completely. But it is important to ask yourself the question, what do I want to achieve? Is it really worth my effort? Such an analysis helps not only to conserve energy, but also to make more informed decisions. The third way, patience is the key to success. We are used to instant results. When we order something online, we want to get it right now, but we can't speed up the delivery service. One thing remains, to be patient. This principle also works with long-term goals. No matter how much we want everything at once, sometimes the only way to achieve what we want is to wait. Patience makes it possible to avoid unnecessary stress and focus on what is really important. The fourth way, filter the information. We live in an era of information noise. Data streams are crashing down on us from all sides, and it is becoming increasingly difficult to distinguish the important from the secondary. Learn how to cut off excess. Leave only the information that is relevant to your goals. This will not only help to keep your mind clear, but also save time and energy. The ninth law, the law of self-defense. We all want to have three qualities: autonomy. We strive to be masters of our decisions and rebel if we feel pressure. Intelligence. No one wants their mental abilities to be questioned. Correctness. We are convinced that we are acting with the best intentions. In order to successfully convince others, it is important not to violate these beliefs. Here are some rules. The rules of persuasion. Acknowledge the other person's ego. Never question his views. Show respect and let the person feel that you are on their side. Let him feel that he is convincing you himself. Listen more. Talk less. Being a good listener means giving the other person space to open up. Comment on his words to show that you are attentive, but do not turn the conversation into an interrogation, otherwise it may be alienating. Use the resistance to your advantage. When a person stubbornly resists the whole world, you can turn this into his motivation. As a teenager's mom, play on his sense of contradiction. These simple rules help not only to overcome protective barriers, but also to build trusting relationships that make communication more productive. Law 10. On self-sabotage. Explore the new with curiosity. When you find yourself in an unfamiliar situation, imagine yourself as a researcher. Treat everything with interest and kindness. Don't be afraid of obstacles. We cannot control all events, but we can control our attitude towards them. Obstacles are challenges that help us grow. Open up to the positive. Cynicism may seem cool, but it often hides fears and complexes. Be the one who sees the bright side of life. Believe in yourself. Failures are temporary. Don't let single mistakes make you doubt your abilities. The 11th law, on self-aggrandizement. As a child, many of us dreamed of something grandiose: becoming a rock star, writing a world best-selling book, opening a successful business. These dreams are inspiring and motivating. But sometimes the pursuit of greatness transcends reality. A person overestimates his capabilities and begins to live in a world of illusions. How to turn the energy of a dream into a real force. Evaluate your goals. Ask yourself the question, do you really want this and can you achieve it? And challenge yourself. Take on tasks just above your current level. They will help you develop. Use your dreams wisely. The energy of great desires can inspire if you direct it to real steps. Law 12. Gender flexibility. In ancient times, in the cultures of Persia and Egypt, people were not strictly divided into men and women. A combination of masculine and feminine qualities was recognized in each of us. Modern society imposes stereotypes. Men are taught that they should be hyper, masculine, and women should be gentle and caring. But this limits the personality, suppresses a part of its nature. Finding a balance between masculine and feminine traits means living in harmony with yourself. This helps not only to feel comfortable, but also to build healthy relationships with others. Be yourself. Allow your personality to unfold without limiting it to gender. This approach makes a person more authentic, independent, and creative, opening up new horizons for him. Law 13. About aimlessness. You can chase wealth all your life, but even $1 million is not able to fill the inner void. Yes, money can provide comfort and convenience, but there are things that money cannot buy. Law 14. The law of conformity. How to preserve your individuality while remaining a part of society. Create target groups. Unite with people for a common positive goal. Share a clear mission. Let each participant understand what the team is working for. Delegate tasks. Trust others to keep your work well coordinated. Create a safe atmosphere. Everyone should feel that they can speak freely. Set an example with your attitude. Confidence and determination are contagious. Law 15. About impermanence. Leadership is both strength and responsibility. People want to be led, but they also want freedom. If you are in a leadership position, be prepared for changes in the attitude of others. Any mistake can cause a loss of authority. Tips for strengthening leadership. Be original. Develop your own management style rather than copying others. Strengthen your connections. Have a clear vision. Be flexible. Change your methods to meet the new realities. Law 16. The law of aggression. Aggression is an ancient survival mechanism that has remained with us to this day. Although we don't have to fight for food or shelter today, aggressive impulses continue to affect daily life. Aggression often becomes a mask hiding our fears and vulnerability. We say and do things that we regret later. Law 17. The law of generational myopia. The older generation often remembers the past with nostalgia. They say that life was simpler then. People knew their place in society, were confident in the future. And what do we have today? Constant uncertainty, a suspended state when no one can predict what will happen next. Each generation is a unique mix of personal beliefs and those passed down to us by our parents. However, each new generation strives to gain independence from the older one, forming its own views, tastes, and approaches. This is the spirit of the times, which creates the characteristic features of the era. Fight against stereotypes. If you disagree with established views, change them creatively and nonviolently. Involve different people to see the world wider and be more flexible. Listen to others. Explore the ideas, values, and perspectives of others. It not only enriches you, but also helps you find a common language with people. Law 18. The law of denial of death. Have you noticed how often you postpone important things for later? Whether it's studying, working, or dreaming, we keep telling ourselves, "I'll make it." In fact, it resembles our attitude towards death. We know that death is inevitable, but we are afraid of it and therefore prefer not to think about it. This creates the illusion that we still have a lot of time ahead. This means that you can postpone all the most important things, goals, dreams, desires. Feel free to realize your dreams. Stop procrastinating. Live here and now. Appreciate the moments. Fill your days with joy, inspiration, and love of life. Time is the most valuable thing we have. Don't let it just leak away. Instead, turn every day into an opportunity to realize yourself and your desires. Thank you for watching, and may your life become brighter and happier every day.